Good afternoon, everyone. The topic I'm going to touch upon is employee retention. Have you, as an employee, ever felt you did not want to go to work on a Monday morning? And as an employer, did you feel your employer should, on a Monday morning, come smiling to work? Unfortunately, the wavelengths between employees and employers normally does not match. And when the wavelengths does not match, what happens? Ill will, fights, disagreements, strained relationships, fireworks, and then quits. Employee retention is one of the biggest problems facing corporate India. My name is KV Premraj. I spent 38 years in the corporate field with big companies like Reliance, Bank of Maharashtra, and HDFC Bank. Let me start with my story. I was with Bank of Maharashtra, and like happens in a nationalized bank, after a promotion, you get transferred. So after one promotion, from Mumbai, I went to Ahmedabad. I stayed in Ahmedabad for 3 years. After 3 years, I was back to Mumbai and spent some time in Mumbai. Another promotion came in. And what happens? Back to Ahmedabad. It was at this time I realized that there were a couple of people, my friends, my colleagues, who had also been promoted along with me both times. But due to influence, their power, or networking, they managed to get retained in Mumbai, while I had to go to Ahmedabad twice, uprooting my family and facing a lot of difficulties. Had you been in my place, what would you have felt? Disgusted? Upset? Yes. And then what would you have thought? Tried looking for another job? That's exactly what I thought, and that's exactly what I did. I started applying to banks. It was around this time that the new generation private sector banks had come into the picture and they were looking for experienced people. So I joined HDFC Bank, spent close to 20 years there, was in management positions, and my final posting was as CEO of a group company of HDFC Bank. During my tenure in the bank, I had always noticed the staff retention or the attrition level of employees in areas that I looked after was much, much lesser than my peers and the industry standard. So I felt I have something, or I am doing something which is helping retain employees. I'm doing something where there is staff engagement, which is helping in the retention of staff. Talking about staff engagement, there are some statistics that I would like to. There was a Gallup survey that was done in 2018, which came with the shocking statistics, which said 85% of the staff members are not fully engaged. 17% of the staff members are completely disengaged. So we have 68% of staff members who are neither here nor there. They are only doing the job for the salary that they're taking. It is this 68% that would either flip over to being completely disengaged, or if they are worked upon, they could become engaged. So corporates need to ensure that the 17% who are completely disengaged should not be in the system, and the other 68% should be coached to see that they move up the ladder and into the engaged part. When we talk about the engagement, it seems that 17% productivity increases with engaged employees and 21% profitability is given by the more engaged employees. In our workforce now, we have 26% of them who are the millennials. These are the future of our workforce. And the same statistics also mentioned from Gallup that 71% of the millennials are not engaged or properly engaged in their work. This is not very good as far as retention is concerned, because these are the people who will be hopping around job to job and messing up with the retention strategies of organizations. Apart from the statistics, what is it that we can do to retain employees? Based on my experience in the sectors, in the corporate sector that I worked in, I've come up with a formula which I feel can be used to ensure retention of employees happen. And what is the strategy? The strategy is what I would call as a blend strategy. Blend, B-L-E-N-D. And each of those words stands for something which I will elaborate. Let's start with B. What is blend? The B in blend is belonging. If the employee feels that he belongs to the corporate that he is working in, he will give his best and he will not think about quitting. And when we talk about belonging, which are the companies that come to your mind which have taken care of their employees, which ensure that attrition levels are much, much lower? I, for one, is a great fan of Tata Group. And when we talk about Tata Group, there's one example that I would like to give. 26th November 2008 is synced in the memory, in the collective memory of India, because this was a day when 10 Pakistani terrorists hit Mumbai. And one of the places that they hit was the iconic Taj Mahal Hotel. The employees of Taj Mahal Hotel knew the architecture of the building. If they wanted, they could have escaped. They could have tried to save their lives. But what did they do? Not one employee jettisoned their post. Even in the crossfire that was happening, in the live bullets flying around, these employees were out trying to help guests. They were trying to shield guests, or they were trying to find ways where the guests could escape. Many of the staff members of Taj were shot, some fatally. But it is a sense of belonging that saw that not one staff member jettisoned their post. This could not have happened had it not been the company culture. The sense of belonging is ingrained into a Tata employee, which is ensuring that retention happens. So if companies need to ensure that retention levels are high, they need to see that the sense of belonging happens in their staff members. So in the second component of the blend formula is L. L is learning and development. Statistics shows that the expiry date of knowledge is decreasing. Previously, a person acquires a knowledge, he could have used it during his entire lifespan. But the expiry date is reducing now, and it is said that knowledge that you gain now, it expires within 2.5 years or it becomes obsolete. So there has to be a constant churn or constant upgrade of knowledge that has to happen. And corporates need to ensure that their employees are upskilled very, very often. 9 out of 10 millennials who are in the workforce feel only if the corporate spend something on them for development will they be willing to stick around. With artificial intelligence and automation coming, the need for skilling increases manifold. There was a statistic that I heard or read somewhere which said by the year 2030, the jobs that will be existence in 2030, 80% of the jobs are not available now. So what are we looking at? We are looking at a whole set of new jobs which are not even in existence now. 80% of those jobs are going to be there. So unless our staff members are upskilled or their knowledge is not upgraded, we will find these employees looking out to upgrade their knowledge or looking for greener pastures. So it's imperative that the company spends time in upskilling their knowledge. And it is also shown that 11% profitability increases if employees are really trained, and 21% retention also increases. So after BL, we come to empowerment. Komal was a relationship manager with a branch that I worked in. She was very good in her work. She used to go out of the way to help customers to ensure that the work is done. And at times, she had to work very late hours to pander to the customer's requirements. Due to this, sometimes she used to be late coming to work. But her manager was very, very insistent that she come to work on time. Even though Komal had taken care of the customer's needs, her branch manager was not impressed with her late coming. What happens? Friction, disagreements. Finally, Komal quit. Who lost? The organization. Komal is now an entrepreneur with a flourishing e-commerce business. The bank lost a very, very good staff member. Had the empowerment, had she been empowered to take her own decisions and had that self-esteem been given to her, she would have stuck to the organization. After BLE, we come to N. N is nourishment and nurturing. Staff members should always be nourished and nurtured if they have to be retained. And I would say the best place how they can be nurtured and nourished is when it comes to promotions. When there are promotions, I am a firm believer that the first person who should be taken into account are the internal employees. Because if you promote an internal employee, there are a lot of benefits, like they know the organization culture, they know the people whom they will be interacting in future, there would be better synergies. But if you get an external candidate, you will find he takes time to get set in the system. Plus, there is a cost involved in getting a external person, and it is not very clear or is not very sure he will fit into the organization. So it's always better to nourish and nurture an internal candidate. And when this happens, the internal candidates will also feel the corporate is taking care of them and they don't have to look for greener pastures outside. So this will ensure that the retention happens. And then the last in the sequence is D. What is D? D is the development of culture. Google receives more than 1 million resumes every year. Why do you think people want to work for a search engine company? It's only because of the culture that they have built, the culture of being a great place to work with and a fun place. If organizations can get this done, they will see that employees are retained. And there's another statistic from Gallup which says 32% of employees leave a job within 90 days because of the company culture. Don't you feel using the blend formula will lead to greater customer retention? The credo, employees first, rest next, will have to be the mantra employees will have to adopt if they want to see greater customer retention. Staff retention initiatives have to begin at the top. For this, there has to be a mind flex at the apex level of the organization tree. The boss has to metamorphose into a leader. Happy employees will be more productive, generate more profits, and will deliver greater and delightful customer experiences. So the credo for staff retention has to be employees first, rest next. Thank you.